How does a veteran that's going blind get around Washington, D.C. while busking with bagpipes? Let's find out. Today's game plan was to go busking at the McPherson Metro stop and then head down to the White House and do some more playing. But first, you have to get there. Once I get set up at the metro station, I know I'm in for a long day. The next bus that I can catch is at 3:30 in the afternoon, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning right now. Packing for a day of busking is an art all in itself, really. I think I'm still carrying too much stuff, but like with everything else, experience will bring improvements. Whenever I get to a metro stop that I'm going to busk at, I always say hi to the station manager. It's always good to keep good relations and just let them know what I'm about and what I'm doing. I give them one of my CDs. It usually works as a good icebreaker. I do have to watch out for the occasional rough customer. The hard truth is that there's a lot of homeless in DC here, and there unfortunately is a lot of people with mental illness that are really struggling. So I do have to protect myself and look out for that. The McPherson station has a beautiful mural representing veterans. The station it's literally underneath the headquarters for the Department of Veterans Affairs, and it's 3-paneled, and it's called In Service. It was installed in 2019 by Addison Carl. It's so bright and beautiful in person, and it actually represents 3 other memorials: the Marine Corps Memorial, the African American Civil War Memorial, and the Air Force Memorial. I set everything up and got the pipes going. Once I got them going pretty well, I put the tripod on and to record some tunes. It's really noticeable difference how many less people there are in DC right now. There's so much telework that got started because of the pandemic. And from what I see, tourism, it's just been crushed. I looked up the statistics from the WMTA, which is the DC Area Transit Authority. In 2019, about 14,000 people came through this station on a daily basis. And average daily ridership this year in 2021 is 1,300 every day. What a drop. I feel really bad for the people, not only the ones that own the small businesses around here, but all the people who worked in those businesses. You know, I can't imagine the struggle that they're all going through, what they currently go through. And yes, selfishly, it's terrible for someone that's busking. There's just not a lot of traffic. One of the goals I have with the channel is to talk to veterans and vision impaired or blind people or anyone that needs to be heard and hear their stories, your story. Pretty early in the morning, an Army veteran named Tim from Georgia stopped by and spoke with me. He had an appointment at the VA to address an issue. He didn't want to talk directly on camera, which I respect, but he allowed me to record the footage of us talking. I listened to his story, and then I played him the Army song, Caissons Go Rolling Along. He was pretty pleased. In fact, he came back after his appointment and visited me. One of the many lessons that you learn with busking is that you don't know what's going on in a person's life just by looking at them. Tim is a really good case in point. After busking at the metro station for about an hour and a half, I packed up and walked past the VA, and I crossed the street, and there you are at the White House grounds. On the grounds on that side, it's called Lafayette Park. This park has an amazing history, and so many things have happened here, good, bad, and ugly. They call it President's Park. It's on the north side of the White House. It's a 7-acre plot called Lafayette Park. This park has served many purposes through history. It was a graveyard. It was a racetrack at one time, and also an encampment for soldiers during the War of 1812. This park has a long history of protests. This is a great place to showcase any cause that you want to try to affect change for. One of the most famous protests that ever happened at the park was started in 1981 by William Thomas. It is an anti-war protest, and Thomas continued it with the help of volunteers because the rule is in the park that you can protest, and they went through a lot of lawyers, a lot of court cases to keep the protest going. The layman's version of the rules is that you can protest there, you can't sleep there. So Thomas couldn't do it by himself because you had to sleep. So he would have volunteers come fill in for him, and they would do shifts. And then one of the volunteers, her name was Concepcion Pachota, and she started there almost right away with Thomas. And she was there for decades until her death. In fact, the only time that the peace protests ever stopped was in 2013, and the person that was going to fill in for her did not show up. That was at like 1:45 in the morning. And so the park police came and dismantled the vigil right away to stop it. And then the protesters installed the help of Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton. And she got all the equipment back and all the tent and all the signs returned from the park police property and brought back, and they started it back again. Since Miss Pachota's death, volunteers have covered the shifts continuously. Today there was a grizzled, bearded man still standing watch there. No matter what your thoughts are on the subject, you have to admire their tenacity. As a side note, I played there for about an hour and a half, and it was brutally hot, and the donations were horrible. Only one guy came and dropped something in the bucket. But that's the way it goes. So I packed up and I went to my oasis. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This McDonald's is actually back on the Virginia side of the Potomac. I had taken the metro stop to Roslyn, which is the area where I pick up my bus. Once I got rehydrated and reset up, I went back out and did some more busking.
Good day. My name is Rector Percival. The fool in this presentation that keeps blathering on refers to me as his distrusting ego. I refer to myself as the one who makes sense in this relationship. I have instructed him for over 5 decades to cease and desist these nonsensical scams that he continues to come up with. Why not comply? Don't rock the boat. Stop trying. Give up. Music? Music's not bringing joy. It's merely a distraction from the work that needs to be done. Music is stupid. You're not going to win. And you're certainly not going to make a difference. If this fool continues this video fiasco, I am certain to remind him and all of you that pessimism is real and should be embraced. Now turn this rubbish off.
Sorry about that. Like I was saying in my last video, there might be a special guest today. And that's just my wacky alter ego with the crazy name. He's the guy that keeps telling me not to go busking, quit playing music, stop trying in general, really. Stop exercising, eat more cake, watch more TV. He says quit worrying about your family. I don't know about you, but maybe you have somebody inside you telling you the same kind of stuff. Listen, we can't cave into these people. You've got to keep going. Please like and subscribe. And also comment. I'd love to hear from you on your opinions on things and how I could do better. Here are some links to some YouTube short videos I made while busking. YouTube shorts they have to be less than 1 minute long, and they have to be in the vertical format. I have a link down below for my Bandcamp album, Starting to See. 100% of the profits go to Blinded Veterans Association. So thank you for watching the video. Take care. I'll see you soon.